Call the zoning board meeting for the month of January 2024 to order. The board that is sitting tonight to hear the cases is member Stephen Leanis, member Monique Screenberry, member Fire Chief Brian Nardelli, member James Sweeney, and myself, Chair Kenneth Galligan. Our zoning enforcement officer tonight, superintendent of the buildings, clerk of the zoning board, Mr. James Plouffe, and our recording secretary is Monique Fagazzo. Before we get started on the meeting tonight, I would ask if anybody has an electronic device, a telephone or whatever, if you can put it on silence or vibrate so that it doesn't interfere with the meeting. If you need to use the phone, please take your conversation out to the hallway outside. I will tell you that the meeting is being televised. It is live on Brockton Cable TV, and from time to time it will be reproduced throughout the next coming month. Prior to the start of the hearing tonight, is there anyone here that wants to withdraw from tonight's hearing? Seeing none, we will go forward with the cases tonight. We have one case before us tonight. Our procedure for the petitioners that are going to be presenting tonight, or the petitioner, I will call the case. The petitioner will come up to the podium, explain the situation to the board. When you have completed your dissertation to the board, I will ask if any of the board members have any questions based on the testimony that you were just given. If they have no questions, or when we complete the questions, that will finish the questions from the board. I'll open it up for any comments from the general public. I'll ask if there is anyone here in favor. Following that, I'll ask if there's anyone here in opposition. Following that, I'll ask if there's any public official that wants to be heard on the issue. And lastly, I'll ask if there is anyone here that has any questions about the testimony that has been given. Following that, I will close the hearing. That will complete the public discussion part of the hearing, and I will now open it up for discussion among the board members. At that point, you will hear the board members deliberating, speaking about how what has been presented relates to the zoning here in Brockton, and eventually you will hear one of the board members make a motion to grant. If that is seconded, I will then call upon our clerk to call the roll. In order for a petition to pass, of the 5 members, if all 5 members vote in favor, it will be approved. If 4 members vote in the affirmative and 1 in the negative, it will be approved. If the vote is 3 in the affirmative, 2 in the negative, or anything less than that, it will be denied. Once the clerk tells me what the vote is, then I will announce whether the petition has been granted or denied. All right, board members, we ready? Ready.
Ready.
All right, the first case before us tonight. Petition 2401, the petition of Orico A. Barrows, 140 Spring Street, Brockton, Mass., for a special permit to construct a second-floor egress for apartments 2 and 3 in an R3 zone located at 140 Spring Street. Relative to this petition, there is also a requirement for a variance because of the location of the stairway in relation to the rear yard setback and the property line in the rear of the building. So there are 2 things at work tonight. One is a special permit if we're going to allow the stairway to be placed where it is. And secondly, he's going to have to show us a hardship as to why that stairway has to be located where he's proposing. All set.
Good evening.
Please introduce yourself, give your name to the clerk.
So my name is Orico Barrows. I'm here requesting permission to build
Please
this.
speak up. Try to get a little closer to the mic. Pull it to you. There you go.
There you go. Better? All right, good. So I'm here requesting permission to build a secondary means of exit of my property from the 2nd and 3rd floor. And I would like to present my case to you guys right now. So basically the reason why I'm here requesting it is primarily because I need a second means of egress or second means of exit of the building. And secondary is because as like it was prior used to be a second means of egress the second floor. But as you guys can see in the picture of the, the picture of the plan that I sent, there's a little site up on the third floor, and it's not safe, and it wasn't safe the way it was. So I was living there, so I have a son, so I took it down because he was so as it was me living there, so I figured with time I can probably get a permission and build it in the future, but I didn't expect it to come the way it came because it was, I think somebody called in and they went and rated it, found it that way, which was not my intention. So right now I'm here in front of you guys requesting to build it back on, but the proper way. I guess that would be the better way to put it, meaning a whole set of stairs coming from the first floor all the way down to the third floor, and remove that little side that side step, I guess is the best way to put it, which is not high enough because I'm not even that tall. But if I walk right out, and this is a little maybe 1 foot square, and it's up to a little above my knee. So it's kind of become, if let's say if in the future I rented that place out or anything, it can probably be a liability for me. And the way I see it, I can't, that would be probably the best location to build it. As if I'm building something, I want to make sure I build it proper. And second of, it's not I feel like if you have one entrance in the front and one all the way in the back, which are opposite to each other, would be a better way to build a second if I'm building something from scratch. So I'm here humbly asking you guys if you guys can allow me to build it. I guess that's what I'm at right now.
Okay, there's two things at work here. First of all, you are required to get a special permit from us before you can construct that stairway.
Understood.
And I guess the intent basically is for us to make sure that that stairway is in conformance with what's in the neighborhood, is it the best place to put the stairway on the house, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the special permit part. The second part is the location of the stairway is going to be right on the property line.
Understood.
There's a distance that's required between the house and the property line, and you're within that distance. So you have to ask for what's required as a variance.
A variance.
And in order to grant a variance, you need to show us a hardship.
Yeah.
Can you describe to us why you have a hardship here?
Yeah, so I would say the way the house is, I wish I had a backyard is I can play football in there, and especially have family over, but that's not the case in there. So that would be, I guess, considered a hardship because it's not something I can move the foundation of the house to build a stairway which will comply with the distance required for me to do it. And then second, also what I mentioned before, the liability if I have to rent the place out at one point, and that place is, like I said, is not secure. I mean, it's fine. It's a porch with a deck and everything, but if I can make it better, why wouldn't I? And and I feel like even for my neighbor in the back, I know his driveway is right there. If I have something that's a little higher or is a little well built, there's less chance of maybe something falling in that driveway because that driveway go across, or he can't have his car in there, something like that. So, but if it's to the, like I said, how he's supposed to, is not a little kid can just play around and then drop something. You understand? Because it's easy to just kind of put something around it, which a little kid can play there, but he won't be able to go over it. I guess that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if maybe that makes sense to you guys, to how it would be a hardship for me, because they're not going to talk with the tenant. If the tenant there, they're gonna talk with the landlord, which is with me. So.
Okay. Any questions from the board? What I'm looking for here is the hardship, and I think he's shown us that the location of the foundation of the house precludes that from going in any other location. When I went to visit the site, I looked at several potential locations, and I could not find another location where that could go. And also the hardship, I think you talked about the people that are on the top floor having a second means of egress out of it.
Correct.
And I did not realize, but I do now, that there was at some point some kind of a stairway there that you took down.
Correct. Mistakenly, and I apologize for that.
All right, any questions from any of the board members?
No.
I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official here that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any interested abutter or citizen that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given tonight? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion relative to the issue. I'll now open it up for discussion among the board members.
I think he's doing the right thing by coming in and getting a means of egress. It obviously comes down to emergency, getting out of the building. And of course, we have the fire chief here on the board. Your hardship is valid because it is the shape of the lot in regards to the foundation. I see it as a no-brainer.
Thank you.
I would agree. I think one of the things, too, when you look at the property, there are really no dormers on that side roof either on that third floor, so there's no other means of egress at all. So as the fire chief, I think it's, responsible. Not everyone is that responsible. So
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't see another, a better location than that anyway, so.
Just as, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I'm done. It's okay.
Just as part of the discussion, I would like to consider that we put a couple of stipulations on here. Basically, that all new construction shall be located entirely on the subject property. It cannot extend over onto your neighbor's property. It has to be all on your
Yeah,
side.
absolutely. That's
And no
reasonable.
overhang onto the adjacent property. So
Understand.
as it goes straight up, it'll be all on your side.
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
Those were the two that I,
So, Mr. Chair, so should we have two votes on or one together with both?
I think it would be best if we combine the two, because if we do each other and they don't pass, then nothing's gained here. So one won't work without the other.
I'll make a motion for the special permit and the variance.
Somebody want to second that?
Yeah, second.
Steve,
Motion's been made and seconded to grant a variance and a special permit to allow for the construction of the outside stairway. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Landis.
Yes.
Chief Nardelli.
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney.
yes.
Ms. Greenberry.
Yes.
and Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that's 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative.
The vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The petition is granted.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Have a good evening.
All right, having no further business to come before the meeting tonight,
Motion
we'll adjourn the meeting. We are adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.